So you want to get your broker authority? You want to get your authority, your bond, UCR, BOC3. You want to be your own freight brokerage company. That's what we're going to be talking about today on this episode of Freight Broker TV. Hey, welcome back to FBTV. I'm Mike. I am your host for Freight Broker TV, as well as the FBTV podcast we try to do once a week. We've been doing a series on marketing for your brokerage, but we've had so many requests to find out how to start your own brokerage. We're going to kind of interrupt that series and go right into how to start your own freight brokerage if you're wanting to get your own authority, obviously. Now, before we go any further, you can check us out. Our website, freightbrokertv.com. If you got any questions, comments, whatever, obviously you can leave those down below on YouTube. Or you can email me direct, fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. And since we haven't been posting regularly, it looks like we're being penalized by YouTube, but I don't know. YouTube seems to, or Google, same difference. They seem to be biting off the hand that feeds them more times than not, but that's neither here nor there. FreightBrokerTV.com. We have forms on our website as well. You can fill out. But if you got questions, anything you want to talk about, comments, feel free to contact us. I'm the lead consultant for Tautoa, as you might know. If you've been thinking about starting your own freight brokerage, I recommend going through and well, matter of fact, go to our website at tautoa.com. Right there on our website homepage, scroll down a little bit. You're going to see where it says where to begin, and there's a webinar we did. I don't know, 7, 8, 9 months ago, maybe a year ago now. I recommend you watch it. It's going to give you a lot of information that maybe you didn't know. It's going to answer a lot of questions for you anyway. But today's topic is, how do I get my own broker authority? How do I get started? How do I get this document right here, my broker license? All right. Now, this may not jive with what some people may recommend, but this is coming from a consultant standpoint. We try to protect our clients when they're getting their broker license, their broker authority. So first thing you want to do before you do anything is I would recommend talking to your bookkeeper, your tax preparer, your accountant, whoever that may be. Let them know so they can start everything up now, because you're going to want to, you got to keep books. You got to keep good records. Now, next thing you're going to want to do, and I talked this over with my tax preparer as well, is you will want to start an LLC. Now, talk to your accountant about this, because they're going to be recommending what's best for you. But an LLC, the reason you want a corporation is to protect you. LLC, generally, you fill out the paperwork. You can do that online. Here in Arkansas, I think it costs like $45. And you can even do a name search before you even file to make sure, you're not going to have any problems that way. I'm sure most states are the same way. But with us, well, in Arkansas, what I'm talking about, you fill out the form, it'll even tell you if you're not filling it out correctly. And I know some people are going to say, get an attorney to do this. No, you don't need one. Each to your own. We didn't need one. And believe me, we are one to use attorneys and accountants and everything like that through our consulting, on a regular basis. But it was so simple. You just follow the instructions, you walk right through it. And it take 30 minutes and the corporation's formed. You pay your money and boom, you get a couple of emails. There's your certificate from the state, or it should be. Now, of course, I'm talking about Arkansas. Every state's probably going to be different. Now that you filed your LLC, you got your LLC. Now you want to step out and get your EEIN number. Go to irs.gov, file for your EEIN. File as your corporation. Now, I want to back up on that LLC for a minute. In Arkansas, there's a franchise fee. every year you got to pay a $150 fee. I believe that's what it is. If not, somebody will correct me, but that's in Arkansas, and I'm sure every state's going to be different about that, but it's just a franchise fee to keep your LLC in good standing. Your EEIN number, it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You fill out the paperwork, and voila, there you go. Now, one thing about your authority and even getting your LLC is you are going to need a business address, a physical address. So be thinking about that. Now, you've got your LLC, you've got your EEIN number. Now what to do? Now you're going to file for your actual authority. Now here's where I will probably butt heads with a lot of people out there on the internet. I always recommend use a service, use an agent to file your authority for you, a process agent. And I'll just tell you right now, we recommend getmyauthority.com. Getmyauthority.com. All right. Now, the reason we recommend using an agent is simply you're going to fill out a simple questionnaire. You're going to pay your money, and they go right to work on getting your authority. They get everything filed for you, and you're going to want to file for your authority, UCR, and BOC3. Okay, bottom line, you're going to need those legally. Now, you don't have a bond yet, but the bond's going to be attached to the authority application as soon as we get done with everything, filling out the paperwork. Okay. Now, I'm going to back up here just a second, because something you might want to do before you do any of this is get a quote for your property broker surety bond. You're going to need a $75,000 property broker surety bond. If you can't get a bond, all of this is for naught, okay, because you're going to have a property broker surety bond. Now, we recommend JW bonds. You can find them on the internet. They got a quick, easy form there you can fill out. It's going to be a soft pull on your credit because your credit's going to be checked. And you'll have a quote within a few hours. Depending on your background, your credit information, your credit score, and things like that, your bond may be as low as $900, $1,000, and as high as, I don't know, $6,000, maybe $7,000, $8,000. But I would highly recommend, making sure you qualify for a bond, or you can afford the bond. Because once you get the ball rolling, once you've got the LLC, once you've got the EIN, once you filed for your authority, if you can't get a bond, well, it's all, like I said, it's all for naught. All right. So assuming you can get a bond. All right. Now, you start out getting the bond, or, making sure you can get the bond. Now, the bonding company is going to contact you. They're going to say, this is what your annual premium is going to be, blah, blah, blah. Probably get a username and password to log into your bond account, control panel page or whatever. You're going to have a rep that calls you, and let them know. Just let them know, hey, I just want to make sure I can, secure a bond. I want to make sure it's affordable. I'm trying to get my ducks in a row. Explain to them, and they'll put it on hold. Okay, everything will be on hold. You've got like 60 days from the time you apply for the bond, get approved for the bond. The quote's going to be good for like 60 days. In most cases. And I'm talking JW bonding here, 60 days. If you're using somebody else, theirs might be different. All right, so within that 2-month period, you should be able to get everything going. Now, when you are ready to apply for your authority, like I said, use a service for the simple reason, if they screw something up, it's on them, not you, unless you gave them the wrong information. Okay? And I highly recommend you're going to be filling out the forms online, but I highly recommend calling the company you're using to file your paperwork for you with the FMCSA to make sure you're doing it correct. Okay, if there's anything you have a question about, call that agent before you submit and make payment, because once you submit and make payment, I'm kidding you, it's going to be that quick, and they're going to go to work on it, and next thing you know, everybody and their mom is going to be calling you because, well, as soon as if the paperwork's filed, it's public information. Everybody's going to be calling you, emailing you, whatever, trying to sell you something. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, so assuming you got all that done. Now, it's going to take you about 21 days. Now you go back, pay for your bond, get everything going, change whatever you need to change in that bond to make it so your bond and the authority that you filed for in your LLC, it all matches up. It all says the same thing. And your bond will be attached with the filing. Now, you're going to pay for the bond, and obviously a few weeks are going to go by before the bond becomes active. Or, well, before your authority becomes active, the bond's going to be active almost immediately. Because the bond has to be active when your authority's filed. So if it's not, your authority's not going to be approved. See what I mean? So anyways, it's like that. Now, so you got everything going. Next thing you want to do is probably go down to your bank, set up a bank account for your corporation. And I would recommend calling the bank you're going to use before you go down there to set up your bank account to find out what kind of information they need. You know, because some states may want you to bring your LLC papers or EIN. You know, or I say state, every bank's going to be different, or I would imagine they will be. So get that all done, get that taken out. Make sure you got money to be able to deposit in that account. Something else you probably will want to do when you're setting up your bank account, maybe you don't need to do it at this moment, but your ACH payments, you know, where you can quick pay carriers. Or agents, if you're going to have agents working for you as well. Now, the other things you want to think about, your authority's going to be active. Usually after filing, it's going to take about 3 weeks. Okay, might be 4 weeks if you're waiting on getting the paperwork back. You're going to get notification your authority is active because you're going to be able to go to the FMCSA website and you're going to be able to see up there. You know, in the beginning, while everything's going through, it's going to say not active. And then on like the 21st day, it's going to not be there anymore. It's going to be an active authority, but you still can't broker because you've got to have the license in your hand. You've got to have that paperwork. And they're going to mail that to you. FMCSA is going to mail it. I've seen it crack me up. I had a client that filed, and they got contacted by companies saying, hey, for like $80, we'll get that for you now. How can you get it now for $80? But anyway, neither here nor there. It's all, you know, money. But anyway, so when your license arrives, you want to make copies of it. You want to make your packages up and things like that. And believe me, when I'm talking about your shipper package, your carrier package, if you're filing for your authority and you're watching this video and you're going, what's that? You shouldn't file for your authority because you got some things to learn, and I recommend checking out Taltoa, TALTOA.com. We have packages just for that. It's going to take you through training, all the way from finding customers, all the way through delivery of the load, everything in between, how to calculate rates, how to work with the different tools, program, software you're going to be using when you become operational. We are going to be talking about legal and contracts, and we have packages where you will actually, once you complete training, you can enter the mentorship program and begin your broker operation as a broker agent. Now, people ask, how does that work? What do you mean? You know, mentorship program, broker agent. Well, we consult brokers all over the country, bottom line. And the brokers that we consult, the ones that participate in the mentorship program, we're able to place clients that want to start out as a broker agent through us under their license. So that way, in the mentorship program, we are overseeing everything that the agent is doing. We're making sure you're crossing your T's, dotting your I's, things of that nature, here to make recommendations, provide assistance, support, answer questions, whatever, you know, while you're going through that initial period. The mentorship program is designed to allow you to become operational so you can gain the experience, start building a customer base so you can take the next step, either to start your own brokerage or get a direct contract with a broker direct as a freight broker agent. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Now, you've got your authority. In between time where you're waiting for your authority to arrive in the mail, now's the time to start talking to insurance companies. You're going to want contingent cargo insurance. You will want Arizona emissions insurance. And general liability, you should start getting rates on, maybe not buy it yet, but it's going to be in the future. Something else you're going to need will be the load board. You're going to have to pay for your load boards, DAT, truck stop, 1, 2, 3, whatever load boards you're going to be using. You need to get those lined up. Now, another thing you'll want to check into immediately is a TMS. Transportation Management System. That is a fancy name for freight broker software. You've got to have that. Something else, and your tax person is probably going to recommend this to you. QuickBooks. You need some way of keeping records, financials. Okay, now most of these TMSs, they'll hook up with QuickBooks so you can export whatever you need billed or invoices created right to QuickBooks, and everything becomes pretty streamlined. Now, when it comes to QuickBooks, man, forget it. Some people may say, hey, it's simple, but for me, it's just right over my head. I've tried to learn it. I just, glad there, we got people to do that. It's just Greek to me. It's a great system. I mean, I love pushing the button to see what's going on, but as far as making sure I get all the data and everything set up correctly, yeah, you probably want your bookkeeper to do that, or tax person, or whoever. All right, very good. Okay, that pretty much sums it up. Now, one other thing you're going to find when you get started brokering, okay, you got your broker authority, you got everything lined up, man, you got your operation going, you're making sales calls, you get customers, and all of a sudden you get a customer, you've got loads, you post your loads on the load board, a trucking company calls you, and they want the load, but then they call you back and say, hey, you haven't been in business long enough. What do you do? This is something that happens to every freight broker during their first year. Carriers are leery. So how do you get around that? Well, you offer cash advances. Load advances, really. Generally, an average load advance to a carrier is 40%. That's good faith money. Now, a lot of times, once you get past this period, if you're offering advances, to a carrier, charge for those advances. 2, 3, 4%, whatever you want to charge. But in the beginning, it's going to be good faith money. You may offer quick pay as well. And again, once you become established, you've got a credit rating. That's going to take about a year for your brokerage. Now you can start charging for those quick pay. A lot of trucking companies going to run you through their factoring company, and that's going to either be good or bad. It just depends on if the factoring company approves you or not. So keep that in mind. All right, very good. Another thing you can do when it comes to those cash advances, okay, first of all, we recommend don't use a factoring company for your broker. That's just giving your money away. If you've got to use a factoring company, more times than not, you're undercapitalized. You really need capital, because when you start moving loads, you got to pay trucks. You got to pay them quick. You need to pay them as fast as you can, but by all means, you want to make sure they get paid within 30 days. Okay, unless, of course, there's a problem with the load, and that changes the landscape quite a bit, because you're going to hold that money, just like your customer's holding the money, till everything's squared away. But anyway, that's that. All right, it's 4th of July weekend. Yesterday was Canada Day. Happy Canada Day. But for us in the U.S., we are headed into the big 3-day weekend. Some of us 4-day weekend. I say us, you, some of you. Obviously, it's Friday. Now, we're shutting down about noon, but we'll be open Tuesday because everybody's selling. Isn't that nuts? Okay, 4th is on Sunday, but we're going to celebrate it on the 5th. Some people are going to have fireworks on the 4th. Some going to have fireworks on the 5th. So it's 2 days of fireworks, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, go have a safe, happy holiday. If you're going out on the lake, be careful. Be extra careful. Real quick story. I said this on the podcast the other day. We'll skip it. I was going to tell you about my boat going out. I think I did anyway. Don't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. Hey, go have a good holiday weekend. Unless, of course, you've made other plans. We'll talk soon.